Seats, please.
But, you know, with Andre, as we see him about to serve for this match, not a lot has changed. The good news is he's fitter than he was for the last couple of years. And that is a great start for him.
And we say years in age, and it's all a relative term because, as you can see, he's still just 28.
Well, you know, that's certainly what he's capable of. He knows Grosjean's not a big hitter on the backhand side, so that's what he's going to do. Just get the ball in to test him right away. He's hit 2 winners already, currently at 8 in the world. I'm worried about his best-of-5 set fitness. All those tournaments he's won have been best-of-3. He has not fared well. He was up 2 sets to love against Beresitegi in Australia, lost that match on hard courts. He lost in the first round of the French, and he lost early at Wimbledon in the second round. This is critical for Agassi's year to be called a complete success, that he do well here. At least get to the quarters.
So I would imagine, and we were talking about this with Sellis tonight, Agassi wants to get this kind of match over with as quickly as he can.
No, absolutely. I mean, no question about it. I think what he's learned being around for a while is that you want to get these easy ones. Don't stretch it. Last year, remember, had that easy match with Campbell. Well, we'll get back to that in a couple minutes.
Oh, it took Agassi a minute and 26 seconds to hold serve. On duty tonight, captains John McHugh and Eddie Wynn. They're on duty night 1 of the U.S. Open, bringing you the great aerial shots, courtesy of the Fujifilm Blend.
15 long.
Andre Agassi meeting the man who 2 years ago was the top junior in the world, Sebastian Grosjean, 20 years of age.
Thank you.
From Marseille, France.
I wonder where he learned that shot from. Watching Agassi as he grew up. Smaller guy at 5'9", very quick and very strong.
How old does that make Agassi feel when these young kids are all doing what he did?
Well, take it as a compliment. And what it shows you that Agassi was playing top-level tennis in his teens. Not a whole lot of people do that. Grosjean currently actually up to 75. That was a week ago. He got to the semis in Boston where he beat Bjorkman, among others. Good tournament for him. Michael Chang,
40-15.
winning his first tournament in 13 months up at Longwood. Just when you thought, you know, maybe Michael is past it. No, he's not going to allow that to happen quite yet.
Amazing, though, Chang, an unseeded player this year. First time in 38 years, I think.
True there.
1-all in the first set now.
About 100 butterflies just left his stomach. Just hit your way to a little calm there. Agassi does not expect, I repeat, not expect to get out hit here.
Grosjean must have some pop. I mean, he went to Wimbledon, qualified, so he won the qualifying matches, then won 3 matches in the main round before losing to Sampras in the round of 16.
You know, he's a good competitor. And it's a good sign for this youngster. And, you know, in all honesty, I'm not sure how many guys I can say that about that are really winning because they compete well. Not enough, I know that.
John, I mentioned today, 5 French women won first-round matches. And now here's a young French man. Is the French Federation producing male players the way they are female players?
I think when Yannick Noah won the French in '83, it was a whole new ball game over there. Renewed hope. Then in 91, I believe, they won the Davis Cup as Yannick Noah being the captain for the first time in about 60 years. So that has really helped raise the level of excitement and interest over there. Jorge Diaz calls the lead. Actually, the machine calling that. They had a great run. They had Noah, LeConte, Forget, Pioline, a finalist here and a finalist at Wimbledon. An interesting first-round match with Bjorkman.
Okay. Agassi.
Oh, Agassi holds on serve first set.
Agassi leads 2-1.
The U.S. Open on USA is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers.
Sebastian Grosjean serving here on Arthur Ashe Stadium court.
Well, 15.
First time these two have ever played.
You better be careful here. We saw it today with Sampras, and Sampras quickly took advantage of Mark Kevin Gollner. Made rapid work of him, and Agassi could do the same tonight. That was easily the worst shot he's hit today. He'd love 30. He still might break here, but he'd like that one back. There's an example of a shot, by the way. It said that players don't practice enough. Okay, you figure it's so easy, I couldn't possibly miss it. You'd be amazed how often they miss that.
It's like a foul shot.
30 all.
Well, the serve is like a foul shot, where they should do better with that. This is, absolute gimme. Now finds himself at 30 all. He'll go from 75 to 40 in the world if he doesn't miss that shot and make Agassi at least hit a winner from that. Just gave that point away in the end. Hard fought till then. Break point.
Juice.
How much do you think John Agassi at this stage in his career gets from reputation?
Not as nearly as much as he used to. He lost quite a bit. He's gotten some back, particularly on this surface. Certainly commands the most respect on hard courts. He should win this match, but this is not inconceivable that a Grosjean has a much better chance of pulling off an upset, in my opinion, than, say, Gollner over Sampras today. He's young enough to actually believe he can still do it. Gollner looked like he never felt like he had a shot.
Juice.
That hand's starting to get wet. See, Agassi gets the towel off. Grosjean prefers to just hope for the best here, a deuce. Well, if he's got time, and Agassi knows this because he told me an hour ago, if he's got time, he's got a heck of a forehand. He's got to put more on the return than that.
There's a living proof. That's going to get Agassi's attention.
Particularly because the last one was an inside out, and all of a sudden he just ripped that cross court. A lot of pace. Well done by the Frenchman there to 2-all.
Last year, Agassi won 3 matches here. Then he lost to Patrick Rafter in the round of 16.
That is the shot that's going to win the match for him. If he can keep that up. I mean, that is nasty.
15-all.
Agassi thought he had hit a pretty good forehand there, and Grosjean well behind the baseline flattens the stroke out. That's what surprised Agassi. He can hit it flat.
Now, if you're Agassi, do you figure Grosjean can't make that shot all night, or do you stay away from it?
Absolutely, we'll keep going at it right now, because I have not seen a human alive that I know of that can keep that up. See, Agassi's like Jimmy Connors. He's the modern-day Connors. He makes his opponent work twice as hard. So by the 4th, 5th set, it's a lot harder to run those forehands down. People love being in Agassi's section because they love the chance to play him, and if by some chance he loses, they know the guy that's beating him is tired. He's run an awful lot. Sebastian with a nice touch there on the backhand side.
40-14.
Once again, the forehand setting up. Agassi out of position, the let cord. A lot of options for him there.
So Agassi holds, and we stay on serve in the first set. Well, just as Monica Seles learned earlier tonight, I think Andre Agassi has just discovered this will not be a steamroll.
No, I think he knew that going in. Just blew a couple break points last game. Grosjean is coming up with some nice-looking tennis right now to hang tough. 3-all, 15-all.
It was 15-40. Agassi had 2 break points in the last game, and Grosjean then ripped off 4 points in a row.
Well, Andre's a little tight. I mean, let's be real. This is huge for him. I mean, this is going to make or break, in all honesty, his year. And I firmly believe he'll feel it's a disaster if he doesn't get at least to the quarters. I could see he could look in the mirror and say, you know, Pete Sampras is too good on a given day, but anything short of that's going to be a big disappointment for this man.
So it sounds like there's a bad combination, because on the other side of the net's a young kid with some talent.
Right.
And if he's playing loose, feeling he's got nothing to lose.
He should be up 5-1 right now. So he's a little tight. It's 3-all. He's still in control, but he's slipping on him a little. Guy just came up a little limp, though. He's not used to this surface. Probably plays mainly on clay. Different type of movement, particularly when you're stopping. Just ask Ivan Izevich. He's had a couple sprained ankles, among other problems here.
So a hold for Agassi. We're still on serve in the first set. Now 20-year-old Sebastian Grosjean under the lights, big crowd, famed opponent, and so far it doesn't look too bad. Not like it's a big deal.
Wow. Let's not push it.
15
That's his first ace.
I think because he got to the 4th round of Wimbledon, which you mentioned earlier, playing Pete Sampras on a stadium court, this is easier for him to handle. And the fact that Agassi is missing forehands like that, which he normally would not miss, in my opinion at least. Little fidgety over there, and there's things not going as well as planned.
Next, first serve.
I like what he tried to do, make Grosjean do something. He's a counterpuncher, make him take the offensive. It worked that time, but once again, I'd be shocked if he could keep this up. I mean, take a look at this shot. Totally flattens out the backhand right on the line. This is where experience for Andre hopefully come in handy, because Grosjean at 40 love should not be playing points like that. At up 40 love, don't get involved in points. That's exactly what Agassi wanted, and that just hurt him down the road. And it's not, by the way, that he played a bad point. He hung tough, but that was not the point to do it. Maybe go for a little more earlier there at 40 love up.
Game. Pulls
it out nonetheless, and providing some stiff competition so far. 4-all first set.
4-all.
It's got a good-looking movement there. It's got a nice bounce, spring in those young legs. Appears to be quite comfortable, or at least except for that one slip up there, moving on these courts.
All right, here's another question. History. Agassi lost to qualifier at the French Open in the first round. Now that's a fiend. You start thinking about that?
Absolutely. I'm sure when he saw this draw, he's like, not another damn young qualifier. He's got tons of energy. He can hit a pretty big ball. I haven't seen a great deal of Grosjean play, Ted, but in my opinion, he's in the zone right now. This is about the best he's ever played. Playing quite well, making Agassi work hard. Agassi has to hit the line to win this point. Agassi's picked it up right here. He's putting a little bit more pressure on it. So far, Grosjean is handling it quite well.
30-15.
What every tennis player loves, those free points on the serve.
Agassi making sure he's getting that first serve in. 78% so far.
Most of them, however, have been like that. Not a lot on most serves. Well, he seems to be learning pretty quickly on the spot, and he's getting a lesson from a master of hard courts. Agassi now at 45.
Well, Agassi holds for 5-4 in the first. Agassi and Grosjean. Good first set. Grosjean serving. And that's his second ace.
I tell you, it looks to me like he's mimicking Agassi. I mean, he's used that serve. That's what Agassi did twice the last game. Very good thinking so far. Agassi took no chances there. So if he lets it drop, he's missing some point. That's a good idea. Get closer, volley it.
Somewhere along the line, you must have played somebody that had emulated your game, tried to do what you did.
Very rarely, to be honest. Very rarely. As a matter of fact, I can't
What does
think
that
of
tell us?
That's what I'm wondering. I thought my game was easy to emulate. It just wasn't exciting enough, Ted. You know, I didn't have the big swings and the crazy winners. So it's boring to these guys. They're bored by percentage tennis. Tricky time for Sebastian here at 15:30. Just dumped a forehand in the bottom of the net. Quickness has saved him there. Moved around that backhand quickly. Inside out forehand winner. We've seen Andre miss a couple of these in this first set. No mistake there for Grosjean.
Well, here's the point that Agassi would love. Dearly love to steal right here. Quick end.
And not only that, he would get the crowd, obviously, as you can see, much more into this. Oh,
that was a great point. Agassi a little extra charge in him on that.
Throw out the book about teaching volleying. The full swinger. Below the net. Angle topspin forehand. Too good. Just too good. It takes guts to try that shot, Ted, much less make it. Because if you miss it, it's, you know, how could you possibly do that?
Well, I think it's a great play on set point, don't you think?
I guess it's just
not what I would have thought of. Got the job done.
Yes. He saved himself a couple extra games there. Perhaps a tie break.
Well, in all honesty, he should have won that 6-2, 6-3, so only fitting that he pulled it out there. Now 35 minutes into this match.
Net for serve.
Andre is looking to serve volley there. I like that. Keep mixing things up. Keep this youngster guessing. Just occasionally. I'm not suggesting you do it regularly. Just an occasional one.
Net for serve.
Grosjean had a respect that Agassi may come in, hit a shorter return. Just a chance that was going to happen, and then Agassi rips that forehand up the line. He's made that adjustment on the forehand. He's gotten closer to the net. Better idea. And it's paying off for him.
Net for serve.
Don't recommend Andre wear this in the heat of the day, this outfit, though. Black shoes, black shirt, and black shorts.
I think he's like Connors. He'd play every match at night if he could.
He makes 3 of us. Oh, that?
Well, now Agassi starting to feel a little bit better. Walks over with more bounce. Wins the first set. Holds to start the second.
Wow, that's it, guys. Mark Woodford off Goran Ivanisevic's Christmas list, apparently, huh?
Not that Goran's ever had trouble expressing opinion.
Now we're talking. Yeah. Things starting to heat up here.
34.
I just want to keep him around for a couple weeks. We'll really get something out of him.
Yeah, that's something. And to his credit, Ivanisevic told you in his post-match interview, he said, "Hey, to get past the first round here for me is something." 4 times in 5 years he had.
He tried. I mean, this isn't, you know, we're on to something here. I don't know what's going on between him and Mark, but he's a little rough on Mark there. I mean,
Agassi needs too low.
didn't like the fact Mark hit him with that overhead. He barely even felt that. And come on, couldn't have been that. Let's send Michael Barkan to Woodford's hotel room and get a comment. Whoa, biggest serve Andres hit. Up now a break, a 2-love. And he's taken firm control of this match.
Well, ever since that running volley that he hit, it seems like he's been in a zone.
Net. First serve.
But I got to say, for the record, I like the fact that he said that. I mean, thank God someone's saying something.
Oh, you're back to even.
I'm back to even either. You know, forget this.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay. All right. So you're in favor of trash talking?
I'm
tennis?
total favor of that. Look how much interest it's brought in basketball.
We're starting a new feature, by the way, folks. We're going to have calls in for Mac here, so I think you just got your first subject. Trash talking tennis.
We got a call yet?
Well, no, we're going to do it here this week. Call-ins for Mac.
Now that ought to be interesting. We got to get every player's number. See if we can give him a quick call.
And I have the first call for you. Hello, this is Yvonne in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's going to be dying to talk to me. I will make it on the golf tour. Oh, I think he is confident now, Ted.
So Agassi on a roll now. 3-love. Welcome back to Arthur Ashe Stadium. Ted Robinson, John McEnroe. It's night 1 of the U.S. Open. Monica Seles has won her match, and Andre Agassi had a very tough going at the beginning. Right now, he's on a roll, having won the first 3 games of the second set from Sebastian Grosjean. And it looks like Grosjean has exited the zone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'll tell you, he's really fallen off here quickly. And give credit to Agassi for taking advantage just as quickly. The off-speed pitch. Puts the ace there to 30-0. Now the crowd's actually going to push for Grosjean to pick things up here, I believe. You're going to question the call. First, you got to look at the linesman, not the wrong side. That's a little experience. He looked at the other side. The linesman wasn't there. Lost concentration, the point, and now down another break point. He got lucky there, too. Gimelstob retiring in the 3rd set with cramps.
There's a Stanford young man doing well, Bob Bryant. Taylor Dent, son of Phil Dent, won his match. Bob Bryant is the current NCAA singles champion. Stanford came back from 2 sets down to win today.
Out.
Jorge Diaz saw that mistake, immediately overruled. Agassi, thank God you saw it. Another break point for Andre. Piazza fans booing.
And now it is 4 love. When Agassi gets on one of these rolls, the old Yogi Berra line, it gets late early.
I mean, it went from a tight first set to just totally one-sided right now, and it hasn't taken long. And Agassi, in all honesty, he thrives in these conditions. You pointed out, loves playing at night. Brad Gilbert looking a whole lot more comfortable than he was about 15 minutes ago. Non-stop fidgeter. Amazing how long their run's been, Ted. It's been, I think, 4.5 years now. Now, who would have thought that? Okay, I take my hat off there.
Well, to which way?
Any way. Now that is just out and out lazy from Agassi there. He kicked it out wide. The only thing Grosjean could do from where it was is go up the line, and Andre knew that, but assumed he wouldn't hit it, which he did, and he's down love 30. Might as well finish the guy off at this point. Big difference between 5 love and 4-1. You have to assume that Agassi will pull out the set, but he's allowed Grosjean to believe just remotely if he breaks here that maybe he could sneak back in. And also allow him time to sort of think about the third, so really didn't want to do this. One break point save.
15-4.
Interestingly enough, Goldner wore his head backwards too. I think they should not a winning style. Beautifully placed approach shot. Court is wide open for him. Grosjean does well here to get the ball back, but trust me, it happened. One more break point.
There's that forehand. He pulled that one out from the mothballs. So Grosjean breaks.
Agassi leads 4-1.
Andre Agassi up here is set at 4-1 in the second over Sebastian Grosjean. To keep up on all the activity here during the 2 weeks of the U.S. Open, use the USA Network website. Gordon Beck will really appreciate it.
Yeah, he sure will.
USANetwork.com. There'll be live chats and all the running info to keep up on everything that happens here at the National Tennis Center.
Will Gordon Beck appreciate these phone calls that will be coming in the next few days, we hope? I just have one request. I want to be able to guide it, you know, cut the conversation though. We've got to have that power up here, right? Not some one of those wonderful guys in the truck, excuse me.
You want the mute button, is what you're saying.
No offense to Harold and Greg, but yeah. No, I want the hang up button. You know, you're out of here.
What's your take, John, on this thought that was
15.
considered for this year and was shelved at least of seeding 32 in a Grand Slam first round?
Not much, to be honest. I like a little, maybe a little tough first round matchups. I think people like that the first couple days. I can see the argument from the top guys that they don't want to have to play, you know, each other first round. Chang could have played an Agassi or a Sampras first round. Agassi now, by the way, with a couple break points here to reestablish domination in the second set. Sounds like the Orange Bowl when we grew up and everyone's seated.
Actually, Chang could play Carlos Moya. That could be a second round match because Chang is a floater in the draw.
Well, I said that Moya in my special had one of the easiest draws. I want to see if anyone was paying attention. What are you talking about? He plays Chang second round.
Agassi with a break now for 5-1.
But as of yet, apparently the 22 people that saw the special, Ted, have not called me to 5-1. Agassi with the break. 5-1. Looking to serve out this second at 5-1.
Tomorrow morning, you'll have a chance to see another first round match that would fall into that category. Jonas Bjorkman was a semis here last year. He's 12th seed. He plays Pioline, who's the 17th ranked player in the world. He's the first unseeded guy. That's a first round match.
In some ways, he's probably not that upset because he's really been struggling, Bjorkman. Not a lot of confidence right now. So he knows he's got a tough match. Maybe he'll feel less pressure. Although he's got a lot of points here, getting to the semis last year.
Love 15.
Excellent point there. Grosjean flattens out the backhand. He's got talent, and he can hit some shots. He's got to do it consistently.
What do you think of Patrick Rafter's first round draw? We'll see that tomorrow night, John. Is Rafter the defending champ? He plays Agassi.
Yeah, I've always liked Agassi. A very, very talented player. Beat Ivanisevic last week on a hard court. He can play on the hard court. He's clearly more comfortable on clay. I like Rafter in that match, but I'm sure when he took a look at that draw, a lot of other guys he would have preferred to play. But it looks to me like it's taken Rafter about a year. He won the Open. All of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I've won a Grand Slam. And finally, a year later, he's had a great run leading up. Crowd getting behind Agassi here, a couple set points. And he's looking as confident as I've ever seen him now, once again. He says he's healthy and ready to go. You see that backswing there? No, because there was none. I'm amazed that more players don't realize that it's just so much more difficult to take these big swings.
On a return.
A coach's new job should just be punching the guy right in the head. Yeah. That hasn't been attempted yet.
I thought you tried that with Sergio Gugera.
He was so quick, I missed. Very underrated, his quickness over the years, Sergi. Out of town before I could, catch him. To be honest, it's not even, although I was disappointed in Gugera's effort that year, the guy's won 2 Frenches and been in a final. There's a guy who's won some majors. There's hundreds of other guys that have a ton less to brag about than him.
Agassi having a little trouble putting the set point away.
There's literally like 2 people at the top of the crowd, at the top of the stadium chanting. Have a tough time getting the wave going.
Advantage Agassi.
Good to see the crowd in a good mood, having fun. Like to see the Mac cam on that replay.
Is there one again this year?
But of course, our big brothers at CBS, you know, they decided to hoard it, to be blunt. Was that a page from Pete Sampras?
Advantage Agassi.
Well, the good news, I work for CBS, so at least I get to see it on the weekends. And Ted, I hope that you will be over there shortly as well. Immediately, if, as they say, if not sooner.
Now there's Agassi. So Andre Agassi, in less than an hour, has taken a 2-set lead. Here in Arthur Ashe Stadium, Andre Agassi playing 20-year-old Sebastian Grosjean of France, top junior 2 years ago, and has had a pretty good first year, full year on the tour.
15
Getting his rank up to 75. Grosjean played a very good first set, but as John termed in our open, he got a reality check in the second.
Yeah, it's not the juniors anymore.
First time in the main draw of the Open for Grosjean.
$15-30.
I think I would assume this is the first time he's gone straight into a slam, because he had to qualify at Wimbledon this year.
That's correct. First time straight in. That's a great moment for a youngster. I don't know about that.
15-4.
I can see a mark right from here that caught a little of the line, I believe, but Jorge Diaz says no. And Andre, I'm not sure if he thought that was in or out, but he'll take it. 15-40. Let's throw it up and please go in. I'm going for broke. Second serve ace. Still one more break point for Agassi.
Grosjean with 2 aces. Now 5 for the match. 2 in a row here to get back to deuce.
Wow, boy, talk about picking it up at a critical moment. First he proved that placement was important, but then he absolutely ripped this serve and amazingly topped it with that forehand.
There's a game for Grosjean. He holds to start the third. interesting year for Agassi. A lot of wins, 4 titles, but not the success he'd like in the slams.
Well, we talked about that earlier, Ted. Struggled in the slams. He's actually struggled in some of the bigger events. One above that, the 4 titles have been in the smaller events.
He really came out quick in the hard court season, won Washington and Los Angeles. But really looking at the fields in those 2 events, by far and away his best win in either of those was over Tim Henman, finals of Los Angeles.
Henman is proving himself to be a legitimate contender, so that's a good win. He did beat Agassi earlier this year and Chang at San Jose, where he won earlier in February.
Beat Sampras.
Excuse me, did I say Chang Sampras? And winning tournaments beats the heck out of losing them.
40-15.
Ask these players on the tour. Most of these players have never won a single tournament, Ted. And these guys are guys that are used to winning. Growing up, the #1 junior, at least in their own country, at the very least.
Game Agassi.
1-1 now, 3rd set. You mentioned, John, that Michael Chang won last week,
1-1.
one of the last tune-ups for this event up in Boston, and he hadn't won in over a year. Now, does that, when you're used to winning and you suddenly don't, does it mean something for Chang to win?
It really does. I mean, I'll tell you, it means, I believe, a great deal to him. Because he really was going in the wrong direction.
Time has a great way of doing it. Last year, we sat here and said, this was Michael Chang's year. Sampras had the early knockout. Chang was on the other half, and I mean, this was his year to win the Open. And now this year, no one even talks about Michael Chang.
My suspicion is that we're going to see, you and I are going to see Moya Chang play in the 2nd round, and you'll be amazed at his record from this moment last year to this year. I mean, very, very un-Michael Chang-like. Incredible. So it's nice to see that he's getting back on track, but he's got a long way to go if he thinks he's got a real shot at winning this. But maybe he wants it that way. The pressure was too much for him last year. He was the favorite. When Pete went out in the round of 16, it was his tournament to win or lose. He had to expend a lot of energy against a Piolín, 2-1 down, Rios in 5, cost him against Rafter.
So we're on serve, Grosjean and Agassi in the 3rd set. Andre Agassi serving up 2 sets against Sebastian Grosjean. Potential, and certainly what everyone here, and those who are tennis people, when they look at draws, everyone likes to project ahead. What is very possible is a quarter-final match between Agassi and Sampras.
15-all.
You don't want to see Sampras Guillaume Raoult, who, by the way, won a thriller, 7-6 in the 5th over Nicolas Escudé, another Frenchman, and is awaiting the winner of this match. Agassi here with the easy forehand winner to 15-all. And I give credit to Guillaume, who's become a solid competitor out there on the tour. He's winning a lot of matches this summer. Good summer for him. Just get that hair back to your natural color. That's all I'm asking.
Literally the bottle, right? The peroxide bottle.
I feel like leaning sideways. How do you get that angle on that forehand? Don't try that at home until you won the Open.
That's what I feel like telling youngsters when Barisitegui plays. Please don't try that.
Close your
forehand at
eyes,
home.
you know. Well, if you're going to run all that way, Ted, at least get that lob in.
Game Agassi.
So 2-all now in the third set. They've not been going at it all that long, though. Just an hour and 13 minutes is typical Agassi. He finds out what he's going to do in a hurry.
Absolutely. The quickest on the tour, as a matter of fact. Does not waste any time. You got a triple espresso with 6 sugars right before you're ready to roll. Now, that doesn't top Vince Van Patten, who I've been practicing with recently, who I think safely doused 10 or 12 before he went out there and continued during the match. You talk about a come down an hour after the match.
Wow.
He'd like that one back.
15-all.
Easy put away, or what should have been an easy put away, butchered there by Andre. That's not the way I used to volley.
Has Brad joined you guys out on the seniors tour at all?
Not yet, no. We're all uneagerly waiting his arrival. We got enough problems, Ted.
15-13.
When it rains, it pours. Agassi a couple feet behind the baseline. Shouldn't have really tried that shot.
34.
Grosjean would have been all over it had it not done this.
He was all over that.
He spanked that one. And he's got time. That's a pretty big looking shot.
Just watching him tonight, John, where do you see Grosjean needing to work?
It's playing matches and using that competitive instinct that he has more positively. I mean, he still looks a little confused. I mean, he's playing one of the top hardcore players and best players in the world, so that's not surprising. He's got the all-around game, though, potentially. Problem, Ted, is he's 5'8", you know, so he's gonna. What I would do is watch a ton of Michael Chang tapes, because if he thinks he's trying hard now,
Right.
that is the major leagues, and that's like somewhere up in the sky somewhere where Chang is.
Well, you touched on it earlier in this match, but that's the greatest compliment you can pay Michael Chang. The Hall of Fame of competition, right?
He may make the Hall of Fame because of that. Grosjean needs to do a lot more of this. That's a tough shot to execute down break point. Timed perfectly there. And also, to be honest, I haven't seen much of Grosjean at net. When push comes to shove at that height, he's going to need to sneak in and put away some volleys if he really wants to break into, say, the top 40, 50 in the world.
Neither player has seen much of the net tonight.
That's 3 times on break point he's done that. All set up by that first serve out wide. There's so much depth on that return, though. It was and there was also quite a bit of pace on it. Tough shot to handle. Grosjean's played a above average game, and it's been the fight of his life here to hang in this match.
Wow.
That's the problem with running around a backhand. You got to hit a winner. If you don't, the court's wide open.
Advantage Grosjean.
Big boost for him. They can win this game, though.
Well, Grosjean survived. But we stay on serve in the third set. Tracy's tennis tips brought to you by Travelers Insurance Group throughout the 2 weeks of USA's coverage of the U.S. Open. Night one. And Andre Agassi's hoping to put this match to a quick end, but he's at 6 break points in this third set and not been able to convert any of them.
Last year, first round, I believe he played Steve Campbell. It was dominating him 2 sets and up in the third, I believe, and that actually got tough. He lost the third set. Well earned by Grosjean there. Hard work paying off on the run. Beautifully done. Look, you can't even see him there. Out of the picture. Flick cross court winner. He's so solid off that backhand side up high. Very strong shoulders for Agassi. Well timed. That was a difficult shot to hit consistently well, and Andre does an excellent job with that. Right on the line.
How about that pickup? Wow.
3-all.
So it's 3-all third set.
Well, that loudmouth is starting to annoy Andre. There's a couple of them out there, and they're just, let's hope for Andre's sake it ends in 3, because they're going to start getting to the other people in the crowd soon if this keeps up much longer. A couple too many to drink.
Love 15.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs to get another 6-pack is what he needs.
You're right, he just turned and trying to plead with the fella to keep it down.
Love 30.
Let's ask Greg quickly. Do not put a camera on the guy, okay? It'll encourage him to do it again.
Thank you.
Oh, but he thought of that already. Sorry. Another shot on Andre Agassi should have made. 15-30.
It does seem through the years here at the Open, we've seen this with Agassi, where he'll have that little lapse in focus perhaps during a match when it seems like he's got it under control.
Well, Ted, actually, almost all players do in a best-of-5 set match. The problem is that Andre Agassi is one of the most, if not the most charismatic player out there. You watch him more carefully. And when he goes south, boy, you know, he goes from such a high level to such a mediocre level so quickly. It's hard to imagine, in all honesty. Hard-fought point there to 30 all.
The quarters in 89. It's a match I remember when Agassi played Connors. And Agassi won the first set easily. Connors won the next two. The third set, Connors beat him at love. It looked like Agassi was just out of it. And he turned around and won the fourth and fifth sets fairly easily. It was one of the incredible.
I thought it was, yeah. Well, I think he planned that, actually.
Yeah.
I
think it was choreographed.
That's what he told me.
How did he get Connors to play along?
I don't think Jimmy would agree with that.
4-3.
All right, Bill, Grosjean and Agassi are on serve here in the third. Agassi at 30 love.
Could be an interesting round of 16 encounter, actually. Agassi, Kuchera, two best returners in the game. If anyone saw Kuchera play Sampras at the Australian this year, one of the best exhibitions of returning I'd seen. Agassi quickly to 40 love. Grosjean screams a forehand winner. Agassi still with a couple more points to level this third set at 4.
Now in the third set. Now tomorrow our coverage of day 2 will begin at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. So be up early, kids at home. Graf, Novotna, Davenport, Kornikova. It's a ladies' day during the day tomorrow, all in their first round matches. Then tomorrow night we'll be with you at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Venus Williams will be up first with her first round match, and then the defending men's champ, Patrick Rafter.
Beautiful shot there. Another winner from Grosjean. Maybe we'll see Agassi with that swinging volley here, break point. He should be sneaking in on some of these, on these angle shots he's using. I mean, he's forcing Grosjean to just chip the ball back. He could come in and hit that shot, which he apparently likes to hit. Missed that by a mile.
15-all.
Andre's never really been real comfortable at net himself. He prefers pounding away from the baseline. He'd make things easier for himself if he snuck in there every now and then. There we go. Simple as that.
As if he was listening. Well, when he's coming to this match, he's had great success, nearly 80% at the net. Agassi's won the point.
I mean, 18 out of 23. Grosjean 0 for 2.
30-all.
You think he's counting on winning points on the serve? Another tight game on his serve. 4-all, 30-all. Just hanging around, hoping for something good to happen.
juice.
Absolutely perfectly placed there. Right on our line. And right inside the line for Grosjean, or Grosjean's line, back to deuce.
Net.
Finally wins a point at net. You better come in and approach that huge. Well, he must be looking at different stats, because just called 6 or 7, you know, somewhere in the middle.
It ain't many.
Right.
Well, this is the exact point that Grosjean lost in the first set. At 4-all. And it cost him. This time it could cost him the match. It's a break for Agassi. We'll come back. Agassi will serve for the match after this USA update. Andre Agassi has played an awful lot of tennis this summer, just since Wimbledon. He played 5 hard court tournaments coming in here. The only early loss he had was in Cincinnati.
It's unheard of, Ted. He played 5 weeks in a row and Davis Cup. So he played 6 straight weeks.
He played on the 5 hard court tournaments in a row, 21 matches coming into the Open. Beat Sampras, Toronto, and Ivanisevic, in fact. And Raoux, the man that is probably going to play in the second round here.
Unwise decision there by the Frenchman. Agassi 2 points from the second round.
Thank you.
As it turned out, Ted, he pushed him just enough. Got the juices flowing, woke him up a bit, but no real problem.
And he's about to win faster than Celis did.
And that's unusual.
So both Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi have survived the first hurdles on what many anticipate will be a meeting in the quarterfinals. Agassi